great. Everybody. Last year he started out as a closer in High A. He threw 33 innings in 23 games. He had 49 strikeouts. He did have 20 walks and a 1.07 whip. Then he moved on to Double A Erie in early July. He was used a little differently, pitching in 2 or 3 inning stints, and he threw 28 innings in 16 games. He struck out 35 and walked 15. He is absolutely a potential effector. Signed out of Venezuela when he was 16. So his fastball, something to watch. Okay, before we talk about the Angels, I got to talk about Cespedes. The Mets are holding their first full squad workout today. And it won't be, a report out of it is that it won't be boring. Boring. So who's that referring to? That's right. Yoenis Cespedes will train alongside his teammates in St. Lucie, and Brody Van Wagtail said on Sunday it'll be the first time Cespedes has been on any sort of field with his fellow Mets. He has played just over 100 games in 3 years, and he will even participate in batting practice. Live batting practice. All right. Now, I know people are taking Cespedes. I know they are, but we just don't know. In 2018, he underwent multiple surgery procedures to remove calcifications on both heels. Then he sustained multiple fractures to his ankle when he suffered a fall being startled by a wild boar. and look, we know the rest. Salary got cut, the whole thing. So it's worth a shot. Don't expect Cespedes to be playing right away. You can't expect him to be playing right away, but expect Yoenis Cespedes to be part of the Mets at some point during the season. That's all I'm going to say. Cespedes will be part of the Mets at some point. So you want to take him? Be my guest. I would say an endgame pick on Yoenis Cespedes is actually a smart move, okay? All right? By the way, does anybody know Yu Darvish had 44 walks in his first 13 starts last year, and then he walked 7 in his last 14, and he had a 2.95. All right, how much are we going on Yu Darvish? Yu Darvish, 260 format. We got a mixed league going. How much are we going on Yu Darvish? Yu Darvish for $5. Now remember, I'm saying it again. He got off to a rotten start last year. The Cubbies, a very unknown team, 44 walks in his first 13 starts last year, and then he walked 7 in his last 14 starts, and a 2.95 and an 0.83 whip for Yu Darvish. Wow, 0.83 whip. Anybody going on Yu Darvish? What do we got here? Yu Darvish, all right? All right, so let's get started here on the Angels of Anaheim, whatever they're called. What are the Angels? Was it the Los Angeles Angels? I still call them the Angels of Anaheim. Is that wrong? All right, Angels of Anaheim. If you want to bet the Angels to win the World Series, and I think it's actually not a bad bet, because here's the odds you get. I think the Angels are the sleeper team in the American League. The Los Angeles Angels, with the addition of 30-1 to win the World Series. I thought that would be a little more than 30-1. And 15-1 to win the American League pennant. Now, I will be, listen, I think that the best tandem this year in Major League Baseball, the Angels, 85.5 over under. I'm going to go over. I think they'll go over. Okay? Over. Okay? This just in. Remember Phil Hughes, the pitcher? He's coming out with something interesting. $16 on $16 by Phil Chapman for Yu Darvish. Not bad, Phil. Not bad. All right. King Happel and 50. Anybody going 17? Going once. Come on. $17 on Yu Darvish. Phil Hughes just came up with something, and he says that until the players get punished, all right, yeah, Kevin has an appointment, so he will. Kevin's going 17, as per proxy Andy. All right, so no, yeah, Kevin had an appointment. He sent me a text. Here's the thing, but Arnie coming up next. So here's the thing. So Phil Hughes, he says he wouldn't be surprised if there's a work stoppage by Major League Baseball players until, this is going to be, until punishments are handed out. Wow. I don't know how Manfred could hand out punishments, but I don't know how he could do it when he gave immunity. Very difficult situation, so I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just a very interesting comment from Phil Hughes, former pitcher. All right? Thank you. Another draft guy was just recently purchased in the last half hour. Yeah, going like freaking hotcakes. All right, whatever a hotcake goes for, that's what you got. Let's talk about the Angels of Anaheim, okay? And I think they're going to go over 85. Even though Mike Trout won his third American League MVP, the Angels posted their worst record in 20 years. And even more important, they lost Tyler Skaggs, and it was just terrible. Arnie Marino shook things up. He got Madden as the manager, and he got Anthony Rendon to the big budget club. I'll tell you what, they got a 4-year streak of losing seasons, 10-year drought since their last playoff. And Madden, look, I'll tell you, Rendon with the 7-year contract. So I think that Rendon, and Trout could be the best 1-2 punch in baseball. So they didn't make the expected major overhaul of starting rotation, and the starting rotation was one of baseball's worst. Dylan Bundy and Julio Teheran. We'll talk about Teheran in a minute. We talked about Bundy before. I think it's going to be a big-time sleeper this year, and we'll tell you about Teheran in just a minute. They're durable veterans that represent immediate upgrades. But the free agent aces, I thought for sure that Arnie Marino was going to go after an ace. Instead, the Angels' ace might be Shohei Ohtani, who will be back in the rotation this year after serving only as designated hitter. But don't forget, you probably cannot draft Ohtani because he's not eligible. They got Pujols, Simmons, Upton, Tommy LaStella. Nobody thinks he's going to do it again. We should have... Yeah, Andy, we left off Tommy LaStella on our list of can they do it again. We had a segment this week of can they do it again. Suarez, Marte, and stuff. But we left off LaStella. All right, so they have some tantalizing prospects. Joey Adele, who could be in right field some point this year. Not going to start the year, but he could be in right field. And Brandon Marsh, who Andrea and I liked more than Joey Adele. Why? His energy was incredible. His speed, I think he'll steal more bases than Adele. And he's a big guy. He's got power. Every game we saw 6 or 7 games, and I think in most of them, Joey Adele was outperformed by Brandon Marsh. Not that Adele was bad, okay? George wants to see Eric Sogard do it again. Oh, unbelievable. All right, yeah. Every game we saw, Brandon Marsh really looked very good. So, that's good. Let's continue on. Now, the Angels offseason, look, they almost had Jock Peterson. They almost had Ross Stripling. That would have been a whole different ball game. I would have loved to see them get Peterson. They made unsuccessful but valiant attempts for Garrett Cole. I don't understand why they didn't get Hyun-Shin Ryu or Dallas Keuchel. All right? So they got Dylan Bundy and Teheran. As we said, we talked about Bundy last week. And, of course, Andrew Heaney returning from an injury-riddled season. So can he resemble the starter when he made 30 starts and threw 180 innings back in 2018? Talent's not the issue. Haney does not shy away from throwing strikes. Andrew Haney, strikeouts per nine of over 11. That's the 12th highest among starters who threw at least 90 innings in 2019. Haney is good. Haney is an interesting sleeper. Haney just needs a full season. Then they got Griffin Canning, who, look, he's got a year of Major League experience under his belt, so he is primed to improve on an average performance. He played at UCLA, okay, and he debuted in April. He went through some rough patches. He lived up to the hype, and he posted a 4.5 in 90 innings over 18 outings. Okay, 85.5. I like this team. And I think Madden can push the Angels to the playoffs. The Angels' offense could be among the most potent offenses in the American League. Heart of the lineup: Trout and Rendon. They combined for 79 home runs last year. All right, and Ohtani should provide some pop also. So it's going to be fantastic. The Angels. Look, they've struggled to protect Trout. The presence of Rendon, who hit .310. Rendon could knock in 135 runs. Okay? Easy. Could knock in 135 runs. Does Joey Adele have a shot to make opening day? No. He doesn't have a shot, even without Peterson. All right? I mean, if he has an astonishing spring, no, he still won't. All right, he hit .289. He had 27 doubles, 10 home runs, 76 minor league games. He was the Angels' third most productive minor leaguer in terms of weighted runs created plus. That's an advanced metric. If you don't know what that means, that does measure a player's ability to create offense in a formula that can be used to compare all hitters in all environments among players with at least 300 plate appearances. And he excelled. He did not excel in the area. He was very good. Okay, very good. In every game that Andy and I saw, Adele did one thing good in every game. Okay, but he only played 27 AAA games. All right, Brian Goodwin is out there, solid defense in right field. He was the top pick in 2007. A lot is riding on Julio Teheran. He was left off the Atlanta postseason roster, and then 30 days after, bingo. All right, it was difficult for him pitching in that ballpark in Atlanta. He signed a 1-year contract for $9 million, and he spent most of his offseason trying to refine his breaking pitch, focusing on just the basics that made him what he was when he was a teenage star in Colombia. He was named one of the Braves' top prospects. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. But, look, he's tough. He went 14-8 in a breakout season. He had a 3.2 ERA in 2013. And that was when he was a rookie. He recorded the second most strikeouts. So much happened. At the end of last season, Teheran gave up 14 earned runs in 11 1/3 innings, so his numbers are a little bit skewed. If you're in an American League only, Teheran is a good pick. Okay? 14 earned runs in 11 1/3 inning over his final 3 starts. He had maintained an acceptable 3.81 and a very good, he had a 2.67 ERA from May 5th to September 7th. Okay? And that's Teheran. Okay, over at, let's go position by position, and then we'll get out of here. Arnie is coming on. He will not be live. So Arnie will not be live, but Arnie not live is better than most live. Okay? But Arnie is good. Isn't it more important to be good than live? I am making podcasts right now. You don't know about this. But even after I'm gone, I will be doing daily podcasts every day. All right? Me and George are still, as a matter of fact, George and I are going to be recording some podcasts together, and they're going to be played after we're both gone. So, still, we will have George and Lenny doing podcasts, some together, and we'll probably make some independent of each other. But we are going to be doing that no matter what. So have no fear. George and I will be podcasting in